Today we're taking a look at these NHL matches: St. Louis Blues versus Minnesota Wild, Montreal Canadiens versus Toronto Maple Leafs, and Winnipeg Jets versus Edmonton Oilers, which are happening on Wednesday, April 28th, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. The Blues and Wild are going to face each other 5 more times to close out the season. Both teams have played great recently, and while the Wild already clinched a playoff spot, the Blues are fighting to earn the final spot in the West Division. With the two teams playing 3 times in this week alone, the game should be intense with plenty of talent on both rosters. The St. Louis Blues, 21-19-6, recorded 2 consecutive victories after following up Saturday's 5-3 home win against the Colorado Avalanche with a 4-1 triumph versus the ABS at Enterprise Center on Monday. The Minnesota Wild, 31-13-3, secured a place in the upcoming Stanley Cup playoffs after notching their season-high 7th consecutive victory following a 6-3 triumph against the San Jose Sharks at SAP Center on Saturday. 6 different players scored for Minnesota, which entered the third period with a 4-0 lead and held on after the hosts cut it to 5-3 6 minutes later. Kirill Kaprizov, 22 goals, 41 points this year, banked a powerplay snipe to extend his goal streak to 5 straight outings, 6 goals for the Wild, which won its season series against San Jose with a 5-2-1 total. The team has secured a spot among the eventual top 4 of the West Division. The Blues, on the other hand, are still fighting for the 4th remaining place, with the Arizona Coyotes sitting just 1 point behind them, albeit with 3 extra games already played. Having said that, St. Louis cannot afford too many mishaps in its remaining 10 outings during the regular campaign, starting with a trip to St. Paul, where the Blues have already triumphed on 7 of their past 11 visits. The Wild have won their last 4 home games, but are bound to ease off on their urgency after Saturday's outing, leaving a motivated St. Louis side with all the tools to bank its 6th win in the last 7 meetings against Minnesota. My first betting advice for that game is to pick St. Louis Blues. The Blues are 0-5 in their last 5 road games and 7-15 in their last 22 overall. The Wild are 19-7 in their last 26 home games and 25-10 in their last 35 overall. The under is 9-4-1 in Blues' last 14 overall. The over is 4-1 in Wild last 5 overall. The Blues are 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. The favorite is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. The home team is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 5.5. Now I'm going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs versus Montreal Canadiens match. The Toronto Maple Leafs will go on the road and take on the Montreal Canadiens in a North Division battle. The Leafs have a record of 30-13-5. The Canadiens have a record of 21-17-9. The Leafs and Canadiens have faced each other 6 times this season, with Toronto winning 4 out of the 6 games. After falling into a 5-game slide, Toronto bounced back with its 2nd straight win on the road against the Winnipeg Jets on Saturday night. Jack Campbell stopped 25 of 26 shots on the night for the Maple Leafs, who continue to fend off the Jets and Edmonton Oilers in the Scotia North Division race. Mitch Marner scored his 100th NHL goal, while Joe Thornton, John Tavares, and Alexander Kerfoot all scored in the 4-1 win. The Canadiens are coming off a 2-1 victory against the Calgary Flames on Monday. Shea Weber and Tyler Toffoli each scored a goal. Jake Allen stopped 21 out of 22 shots faced. Offense has been trending in the wrong direction for Montreal lately. They have scored 2 goals or less in 8 out of the last 10 games. The Habs rank 14th in goals per game, 6th in shots per game, 16th in scoring efficiency ratio, and 19th in shooting percent. Jeff Petrie is tied for 3rd among defensemen in the league with 11 goals. Tyler Toffoli is tied for 4th in goals in the NHL. Defense and goaltending have been struggling recently for the Canadiens. They have given up 3 goals or more in 7 out of their last 10 games. The Habs rank 16th in goals against per game, 6th in shots against per game, and 20th in opponent shooting percent and save percent. Carey Price has a record of 12.75 with a 2.64 GA and a .901 SV percent. Jake Allen has a record of 9.94 with a 2.50 GA and a .913 SV percent. The Toronto Maple Leafs are showing signs of getting out their recent funk, and they've done some of their best work on the road this season. As I've said many times in the past, the Montreal Canadiens continue to get respect from odds makers and don't win enough to justify it. You can argue this line should be a lot steeper than it is, especially with the Maple Leafs winning 4 of the 6 meetings this season against the Habs. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs are 7-3 in their last 10 road games and 2-5 in their last 7 overall. The Canadiens are 4-9 in their last 13 games playing on 1 day's rest and 1-4 in their last 5 games as a home underdog. The under is 3-0-1 in Maple Leafs' last 4 overall. The under is 4-0-1 in Canadiens' last 5 home games. The Maple Leafs are 5-12 in the last 17 meetings in Montreal. The favorite is 20-7 in the last 27 meetings. The Montreal Canadiens are averaging 2.9 goals per game and are scoring on 19% of their power play opportunities. Tyler Toffoli leads Montreal with 25 goals. Jeff Petrie has 22 assists and Brendan Gallagher has 106 shots on goal. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 6. Now I'm going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets versus Edmonton Oilers match. The Edmonton Oilers will go on the road and take on the Winnipeg Jets at Bell MTS Place. The Oilers have a record of 28-16-2. The Jets have a record of 27-18-3. The Oilers and Jets have faced each other 8 times this season, with Edmonton winning 6 out of the 8 games. The Edmonton Oilers, 28-16-2, won for the 3rd time in their last 4 contests, 3-1-0, after starting their 2-game road set against the Winnipeg Jets with a 6-1 triumph at Bell MTS Place on Monday. Connor McDavid, 28 goals this year, banked his 3rd hat trick of the season and 9th of his career, while also picking up his league-leading 53rd assist, to extend his NHL-leading point tally to 81 for the current campaign. Leon Draisaitl, 23 goals, 66 points, meanwhile, notched a snipe and a helper for the Oilers, who lead their season series against Winnipeg with a 6-2-0 total. The Jets are on a 4-game losing streak. Their last game was a 6-1 loss against the Edmonton Oilers on Monday. Mark Skeffel scored Winnipeg's lone goal. Connor Hellebuyck got the start and gave up 6 goals on 23 shots faced. Laurent Brossoit replaced Hellebuyck to start the 3rd period and stopped all 7 shots faced. The Jets' offense has been inconsistent recently. The Jets have scored 2 goals or less in 4 out of the last 7 games. The team ranks 12th in goals per game, 15th in shots per game, 8th in shooting percent, and 15th in scoring efficiency ratio. Mark Skeffel is tied for 8th in the NHL with 55 points on the season. He has recorded at least 1 point in 8 of the last 10 games. Defense and goaltending have been trending in the wrong direction for the Jets in recent games. They have given up 3 goals or more in 5 out of their last 7 games. The Oilers passed the Jets by 1 point for the 2nd place in the North Division and are set to increase their distance even further on Wednesday. With 10 victories in its last 15 outings, and with Connor McDavid on pace to bank 99 points this season, Edmonton has been going strong lately. The same, however, cannot be said about Winnipeg, which is currently suffering its worst dip in form throughout the whole ongoing campaign, currently riding a 4-game losing skid, having earned just a single victory in its previous 7 domestic fixtures. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton is 5-2 in their last 7 games overall and 8-2 in their last 10 games as a road favorite, while the under is 7-1-1 in their last 9 games following a win. Winnipeg is 2-5 in their last 7 games as an underdog and 0-4 in their last 4 games overall, while the under is 4-1-2 in their last 7 games as an underdog. The favorite is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two teams. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 6. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.